the dry hills of the Negev desert, the Bedouin tribes pitch their tents. Their livelihood depends on sheep and goats, on donkeys and camels. Their land is not generous, so they must wander over the desert with their herds in search of new pastures. It is a hard life, and it has made the Bedouins a people of an iron will. They have had to learn patience and wisdom from nature itself. Fathers pass this wisdom to their children through the many tales and stories they tell. There is one tale that Bedouin boys are told before they become men, the tale of Taleb and his lamb. Among the people of the tribe called El Amani, there was a boy whose name was Taleb. Taleb was the oldest son of Hassan, and he was his father's pride and hope. Every day, Taleb herded his father's small flock, for Bedouin children always help their parents, and tending the sheep is boys' work. It was spring, and among the lambs born that year in Hassan's flock, there was one male lamb whose mother died soon after giving birth. Taleb raised and tended it with great care, and the lamb gave him much joy, for it was clever and loving. And so it was that the two became inseparable. But this joy could not last, for shepherds raised male lambs to be sold for slaughter. And although Taleb knew this, he turned his thoughts only to love and friendship. One afternoon, two men from the tribe stopped by the family tent. Taleb's father received them in the guest quarters, which is the men's side of the tent. They sat and talked about the season, their herds, and about the lambs and goat kids that were big enough to be sold. After much discussion, they agreed to sell all their lambs at the nearby market on the following day.
السيارة أحسن لكم. ما ودنا سيارات، احنا نسوق ونعرج إلى السوق ونسوق وتوكل على الله ونبيع في السوق ولا تسجل لنا الخميس المقبل. لا على رأي خميس يوم الخميس. خلي خليلي خلي خليلي وسط العام خلق علي.
Only later that evening did Taleb learn of his father's plans, and he begged him to spare his lamb. Taleb's mother, who saw into her son's heart, added her plea. But his father would not listen. "The ram we have is enough for our little flock," he said. "The lamb must go." Early the next morning, while Taleb was still asleep, Hassan gathered all the goat kids and lambs and left for the market with the other men.
مع السلامة.
Taleb's mother did not say a word about the lamb, so Taleb hoped that his father had changed his mind. But when he and his brother left for school and stopped to greet the lamb, Taleb saw that it was gone. In his anger, he made up his mind to go to the market and save his lamb, even though he knew he would be defying his own father. And this is not done among the Bedouins. Before they reached the school, Taleb left his brother and hurried to the road that led to the nearby town where the market was held. He knew that the place would be crowded, for once a week on the same day, Bedouins from all the tribes in the region gathered there to sell and exchange their merchandise.
وبرضه قبل بعد ما روحت انت وجرات. انا ليش ليش اخش الله يسر. ما فيش حاجه. 10 و5 15 21 ليره بالدقيقه. هذا مكابر. دور عليه ولا اصطر ولا هات. مرق ابو عماده يحكوا مرق.
When Taleb arrived at the marketplace, he made his way to the sheep market and soon enough found his lamb. Taleb did not hesitate for one moment. He grabbed the lamb and ran away with it into the desert. He knew he was stealing from his own father, but he loved his lamb with all his heart and could not let it go for slaughter. Hassan soon learned what his son had done, but by that time, Taleb was far from the town, safe in the hills and the wadis of the desert. When Hassan arrived home, he could not contain his anger. If Taleb does not return by morning, he said to his wife, I am going to find that thief and teach him a lesson. But the lamb was his, said Taleb's mother. The lamb belongs to our family, answered the angry father, and I must sell it for the things we need. Meanwhile, after Taleb had rested, he walked with his lamb farther into the desert, hoping to go where no man of his tribe could ever find them. He walked the rest of the day without water and food. As evening came, Taleb found a deserted waterhole, and at last he quenched his thirst. In a safe place by a wadi, he gathered wood and lit a fire with flintstones to warm him and the lamb through the cold desert night. This he had learned from his father when they traveled with the herd. At night, he heard the jackals howling, but they did not come near. And in the morning, Taleb was happy to see his lamb lying safe by his side. Taleb had no food with him, but he knew of plants that were safe to eat. That very morning, Hassan left to search for his son. "Do not be harsh with the boy," begged the mother. "He loves the lamb so much." "I do not need your advice, woman," said Hassan with anger, and rode away. And Taleb wandered farther into the desert, looking for a place where his father could not find him. As the hours went by, the sun scorched the ground under Taleb's feet. He was hot and tired, but he kept on walking. And fortunately, by midday he found a lone tree and rested in its shade with his lamb. As Hassan rode into the desert, searching for his son, he met many a shepherd, yet none among them had seen the boy. Later that day, Taleb came to a wadi. There was grass to feed a lamb, birds and small animals to hunt, and a cave to hide in. Taleb made up his mind to settle there with his lamb and to stay as long as he could, for he was a boy with an iron will, just like his father's. 2 days passed, and while Hassan searched the desert, Taleb lived in hiding. Often he would leave the lamb in the cave and go to hunt by himself. He caught birds and animals and ate their meat, and he found plants that he could eat. Each day he waited till the evening, and then he went to nearby water holes to get water for himself and the lamb. And so the two lived there, and no one saw them. All went well until the 4th day, when in their thirst, Taleb and the lamb went to the water hole at midday. As Taleb drew water, a man coming to the well saw them. And so it was that Hassan soon crossed the man's path and learned from him which way his son had gone. Even though Taleb ran quickly and hid in the cave, his father still found him, for he was far wiser in the ways of the desert. "Come here, defiant son," ordered Hassan. "Hand me the lamb." "Forgive me, father. I only wished to save my lamb," answered Taleb. "I forgive you, my son, for you were brave," said his father. "But you did steal the lamb, and you must be taught a lesson." And the tale goes that though the father was proud of his son's courage, his heart was firm. So Hassan sold the lamb, for he thought that would make his son grow wise and strong. But it is also told that Hassan saw into his son's heart and said, "You have proven yourself to be as strong and brave as a man, so now it is time for you to have your own flock." And so the lamb was spared, and when it grew, it became the ram of Taleb's very own flock. And the fathers end this tale by saying to their sons, "The way this tale should end is for you to decide. For true wisdom is born of hard but just decisions."